In the previous videos, you already learned the basics of accounting, including how debits and credits work and how transactions affect accounts. Now, we're moving one step further. In this video, we're not focusing on theory anymore. We're focusing on something very practical: how to actually write a journal entry in the correct format. Because no matter how simple or complex a transaction is, every journal entry follows the same structure, the same format. Once you learn this structure, writing journal entries becomes very straightforward. Let's start by understanding the format. As discussed before, a journal entry is simply a way to record business transactions in debit and credit form. And every journal entry follows the same structure. We always include the date of the transaction, the account titles, LF, which stands for ledger folio, the debit column, the credit column, and finally, the description. This format is used to keep accounting records organized and traceable when they are later posted to the ledger. Let's understand this using the example from the previous video. On January 1, Alex starts a consulting business and invests $10,000 cash. The first step is always writing the date. This shows when the transaction happened and keeps records in order. Next, we identify what changed in the transaction. Alex invested cash into the business, so cash increases and capital also increases. Now, we record it in debit and credit form. Cash is an asset, and assets increase with debit, so we write cash on the debit side. Now, the credit side. Capital is owner's equity. Equity increases with credit, so we write capital on the credit side, which is slightly indented under the debit entry. The LF column stands for ledger folio. When this journal entry is later transferred to the ledger reference can be written here. For now, we'll leave it blank. We'll learn how LF is used when we get to ledger accounts. Finally, we add a narration. The narration provides a brief explanation of the transaction and helps anyone reviewing the records understand what happened. So what happens next? One journal entry doesn't exist on its own. As more transactions occur, we continue recording them using the same format. Each new transaction gets its own journal entry, and together, they form the journal. Notice that the format doesn't change. We simply record the next transaction underneath the previous one. Let's do one final review of the journal entry format. On the left side, we have the date of the transaction. The particulars column contains the account titles involved in the transaction. Next is the LF column, which stands for ledger folio. We'll learn how to use it when we start posting entries to the ledger. The debit and credit columns contain the amounts being recorded. Finally, the narration briefly explains the transaction. Remember that journal entries are recorded in chronological order, which means transactions are recorded according to the date they occur, from earliest to latest. If you understand these parts and follow the correct order, you'll be able to read and write journal entries confidently. But what if a transaction affects 3 accounts instead of 2? Can we still use the same journal entry format? We'll answer that in the next video when we learn about compound journal entries.